So straight into task 1 here, and about a 72-kilometre task. The first leg down towards turnpoint 1, heading south. We've got about a 35-kilometre leg, and then about a 15-kilometre leg into wind to turnpoint 2, and then 30 kilometres or so back into the goal, back down in Murchison. So, on with the task. Clear. No run needed today. So a kilometre to the edge of the start cylinder. Didn't really get above launch, but sniffing around for a climb. Just on the second start window now. Gonna get crowded here though, as soon as people see it start going up. And it never really got too crowded, to be fair, because the 140 start window had just opened, and the first half a dozen pilots or so that I was part of actually now went on this valley crossing. Now whilst we're crossing this valley, I did manage to get a couple of thermals. I got one that took me up to about 5.5, and then the second one I got once I pushed on a bit further, it took me up to about 5.9, which was actually higher than the takeoff and the highest I'd been all day. It put me a bit higher than the other guys. The downside of that was I'd actually lost a bit of ground, but with the extra height I managed to play catch up and jump straight on top of the ridge in front. That's good, another climb just on the way over. We're much stronger than the previous one and took us up to 5.9, which is a nice place to be. First time we've been above launch today. Not far from launch. Still got 28 k's to go to the next turn point. But with a bit of extra height I've got now, should make it easier to drop straight on top of the ridge. And the old classic get high, stay high. Choppy again, at 4,800 mark. I'm not going to hang around in it just to get pushed about and not get any higher, so moving on. It's Tom Kellner down here racing on. I don't want to get left behind. Let's go! So on the start of this section, just running down towards turnpoint 1, I did pretty good at keeping my speed up. The reason why I did start to slow down and lose a bit of the lead gaggle is because I stopped and took a few climbs here which I didn't really need to take, so I wasted a bit of time. What I should have done is just raced a bit lower along the ridge and taken a stronger climb at the end. But now we're about 12 kilometres away from turnpoint 1, and we're just going to hammer down and try and catch up. Again, we're 8 k's from the turnpoint. Here's turnpoint. It takes us over an hour to get down here, this 30 k's, so not the fastest average speed. But we're going up 5.5, 5.6, get through 5,600. Got topped up to 6.3. 100 metres to the turnpoint. Alright, do as I say, I'm going to top up turnpoint tag, climb in the turnpoint. Want to get high as I can. So the run down to the first turnpoint was pretty good, and I was keeping up pretty good pace. Now all I needed to do is just get nice and high on turnpoint 1 here and head towards turnpoint 2. Now on the run towards turnpoint 2 I made a little bit of a mistake. Now instead of running and tagging the turnpoint here and then jumping on this ridge line and heading home, What I actually did is I cut the corner and didn't tag the turn point until way over here, which meant I had an extra valley crossing in there before I could head home. Now, it wouldn't have been too much of an issue, but what I actually wanted to do is run this ridge line home. And once I'd got there, I had to go out, tag the turn point and come back. And it's that bit there which slowed me down and lost me a few places.
Topped up to 5.8 once I got across the valley then, and 8 k's to the turn point. Tag the turn point now. I was going to stick around in that little climb then, but it looks better and higher clouds further along this ridge. It's not a ridge, it's a fuck off mountain actually. Oh, I don't normally turn this way. That feels weird. It's working though. Almost to the cloud at 7,000 feet, and we're now 7 kilometers from the turn point, which is a bit of a valley crossing again. If we get to this cloud, that gives me enough height to cross the valley. Pushing into wind, being careful of that, being mindful of that. And then after that, it's a run up the Murchison back towards Murchison, which I think that leg's about 20 kilometers. Headwind leg almost done. 1.9 kilometers to the turn point. So I'll probably have to I might take a little top up if there's one before the turn point. I don't want to get low here. 140 meters to the turn point. Fuck, it's behind these trees. Come on, come on, come on. Get me out of here. Come on, baby, oh beep. Come on. Holy shit, finally. Fuck, I need to get up now and back across that valley. Please be the ticket out of here. There's a seagull just out in front as well. I'm climbing faster than it. Please stay informed like this. I did put myself in a bit of a silly position there. I should have got higher. "15 kilometers to goal." Alright, well it says 9.1 to 1 needed. There's a couple of clouds on the route I can aim to fly under, so let's give it a go. Could be a 15 kilometer final glide.
And that was task 1 finished. 70 odd kilometre race around the box, flying from Mount Murchison into Murchison Township. I really did enjoy this task, flying down to those big mountains at the end. I wish I'd not had that little slow me down heading out towards turn point 2, but it was still an awesome task and I was quite pleased with myself. So I hope you liked the remake of that task 1 there. If you did, you can hit that like button and the subscribe and all that jazz. It does help the channel out a little bit. Now over the next couple of weeks I'll try and crack on and I'll try and get that task 2 made for you. But until then, cheers, thanks for watching, I hope to see you in the next video.